SwissBorg is now the official partner of my channel, so you can buy, earn, stake, sell, all in one secure mobile platform. Download using the link in the description, deposit €50 or more and you'll receive up to €100 worth of their native token CHSB. SwissBorg! Hello everybody, welcome back. We're going to talk about the Bitcoin dominance chart as it's sort of moving up at the moment, as absolutely expected. I mean, it shouldn't come as any surprise to anyone who's on the Patreon or even just watches this channel regularly, because I've been talking about this forever. So we moved into altcoins around here to the absolute disgust of people. So, what are you doing? Can you not see that Bitcoin dominance is going to go all the way up? It's going up. It will continue to go up. I said, well, that might be the case, and I was willing to put 20% of the Bitcoins that I own into altcoins around this level, just for a standard rejection. We had a bit of reaction around here. I said, look, this is probably going to be the... And guess what? It was absolutely to the tick exactly where it was rejected from. 48.7% dominance. So that's something we can mark off on our charts for forever after. This entire zone could be considered an area to scale into alts. But for the most part, Bitcoin dominance trades way above here. Now, I've been talking about this for a little while, about how I think altcoins are probably going to be the better place to be for the duration of this next bull market, which maybe is around the corner, but not right this very moment in time. No. And to be honest with you, with the ETH merge taking place, I think that there's a lot of sell pressure on alts, because people are waking up to the idea that it is a buy the rumor, sell the news event, and that's going to cause further upside on the dominance chart, further downside on altcoins across the board, and Bitcoin reigns supreme just for at least a short period of time. And to be honest with you, for many of you will know this already, but for those who don't, if you go on any Bitcoin pair, you'd be hard-pressed to find an altcoin which outperforms Bitcoin consistently. Most Bitcoin pairs just go straight down like this forever after. And it might be like confusing to many, because people think that altcoins just trend with Bitcoin, outperform Bitcoin all the time, but that's not the case. They are, for want of a better word or phrase, pump and dumps, really. And some of them are good, and they will continue to go up, and probably will outperform Bitcoin indefinitely. I've highlighted a few of those recently, and I'll be highlighting some more of those. And again, this is just from a trader's perspective. I'm not one of those fundamental analysis that pinpoints 100x's or anything from the beginning. Although I have done that, but it's not my thing. The best thing to think about is when you trade in altcoins is to trade, at least first of all, looking at the Bitcoin dominance chart. Are we at a resistance, and where is the resistance, and how far can it be rejected from? How low can it go? So for me, I mean, there is an absolute low, which is all the way down here, 36, more or less 36-37% dominance, but for the most part, it's around 40% is as low as it will. I'm comfortable enough to ride it. I wouldn't want to ride it any further down than the 40%, and ideally I'd look to be getting out around just a little bit above, cutting losses. Cutting losses, taking profits really up to those levels, and then either sitting in a Bitcoin position in a bull market. You definitely do that, or a tether position, because this doesn't necessarily mean Bitcoin goes up. This has generally it's direction neutral when it's talking about price action. It's just telling you where you're better off. If you want to have skin in the game, you're better off having Bitcoin. If so, you'll be wanting to get into a Bitcoin position around here. Or do you want to make some altcoin trades? Are we at resistances? Are these altcoin trades going to yield at anything for at least a reasonable period of time? Whether it's days, weeks, or months. So I've marked off an area of significance. We're just I don't normally do this, but I thought I might as well, because some people love it. Some people love fibs. For the most part, fibs basically correspond to areas of significance anyway. So we can see the blood cellar, the 236 all the way down here, which marks this area of basically favouring Bitcoin, generally speaking. So anywhere from the bottom to the top is favouring Bitcoin, and that actually comes in just at the end of the bottom end of the I suppose the altcoin accumulation zone, and it's not something that you want to accumulate an enormous amount of alts in, really. Even though I saw an alt season coming around here and it was decent, 100-200% gains, I said, look, only 20% of your Bitcoin portfolio, however many Bitcoins you've got, don't use more than 20% of those, because we're from a lower level here. It might not work out. It did work out on this occasion, but it may not have done. I'd say the same thing as we come up to this level. Look, there's no fib here, but we do have a fair bit of reaction around it. There's no fib, at least on the weekly term time frame. we mark off certain other areas on this, and we can see that the fibs kind of can be seen on a horizontal time frame if we move back far enough. So we see a fair bit of support, and a decent springboard from this level as well, and so on and so on and so on. But for me, right this very moment in time is what I would consider to be Bitcoin season, and this could be the end of the bull market, the end of the bear market, for instance. That would be fitting. That would be in keeping with the way that the dominance chart worked in the last bull market, bear market into bull market, or it could be the beginning of a bull market. And this is basically where the bull market really picked up, and you saw that the Bitcoin dominance launched all the way to the top. Obviously, altcoins generally moved around with it, but sats were drained. And by that I mean, satoshis. If you're looking to buy and hold anything, you want to get the best bang for your buck. And if you're looking to do some micro rotations, maybe once every few months from Bitcoin into altcoins and so on and so on, it's easy enough to do just by looking at this Bitcoin dominance chart. People think it's irrelevant because it's, well, I don't know why they say that, but it certainly is relevant. We can see that today, and not just today, but this is just the last 24 hours, this is all the losses compared to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's moving up, altcoins are not moving up, and we can see that the sats are being lost. This is just today. It happened yesterday. It's generally been going on for the most part of the week. There's a handful of coins that are moving up, and I bet you if you looked deeper into why they're moving up, there'll be a reason for it. Litecoin moving up. That's in keeping with the last bull market as well. I bet Bitcoin Cash is probably up as well, or it's not suffering as many losses. The reason for that, I believe, is because the halving for Litecoin is a year earlier than the halving for Bitcoin. We saw Litecoin lead the market in the last bull market. Ethereum Classic, that's not up. It used to be. FTT exchange token, that's fine. HBAR, they get a listing on Coinbase. I don't know much about 8, but there's a reason for all these gains. RVN, that's moving up because of the merge. People are moving on to all the miners are looking to move onto another crypto that they can mine with all this expensive gear that will be completely redundant when it comes to mining Ethereum, because it'll be proof of stake. There's a reason for the greens over here, basically, for the most part. I don't know what's going on with the old twat token, but anyway. Just to hit the point home, everything generally is in the red when it comes to this. And this, like I say, was all suggested, for many weeks from me as we got lower and lower and lower and lower on the Bitcoin dominance chart. I called it the train dodge. Where do you want to be? In any altcoins as we approach Bitcoin dominance of 40%? No. Get out. And for me, I sat the market out. I wasn't sure if we were going to dump or pump or whatever. Sat the market out. No trades for me at the moment. Don't trust them as this comes down here. Now we can see it with our own eyes. So the reason I'm making this video isn't just to bore you to death with the fact that what we're seeing right now is a reaction on the dominance chart. It's to say that we can predict this chart. There is a handle on it. We can predict when to go into alts. We can predict when to go into Bitcoin, or depending on the market, into Tether or out of your altcoin position, for instance. The next level of significance would be this level here, about 43.77. And again, for those who like it, and again, it's not for me. It's not for me. All this fib stuff. I know that it's. I know that it works. It's just there's just too much to. There's too much going on. So if we can see that matches here with the 0.5. 0.5 comes in at around that level from the most recent pullback. So again, whether you're a fib man or a horizontal man, fibs and horizontals are more or less the same thing. I just prefer to see it indefinitely over a longer period of time. We've got a handle on this. We could look to think about moving some of your Bitcoin into altcoins around 43.75% dominance. And if that doesn't work, so be it. No big deal. I'll be looking to do it all over again at 48.7. And if it breaks higher, which I hope it does, because I'm usually for the most part my spot trading is done with Bitcoin and Bitcoin pairs for the most part, so I'm always holding Bitcoin for better or for worse. I'm not particularly bothered if this goes up all the way, and then it just gives me a better opportunity at higher levels to move into altcoins. But there is a handle on this. So this, like I say, what's going on with the crypto market now shouldn't come as any surprise. In fact, it's kind of in keeping with the idea that we're either finishing off a bear market or entering into a bull market. Either one of those is perfectly appropriate to see this kind of move from this kind of level. And the question is, how high is it going to go? There will be people that will call for it to go sky high. I used to believe that we were going to get up to these levels, whether it's 57 to 58% dominance or maybe 62. I'm not entirely sure that that's the case. anymore, but that remains to be seen. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. There is going to be an enormous amount of institutional money flow into this market over the next few years. The foundations have been laid out now with Coinbase and BlackRock and their partnership, so I wouldn't really be too dismissive of people calling the crypto market finished. Certainly not. It can turn around extremely fast when we're talking about a bull market beginning. The last bull market started April really is when it really started to kick off. April 1st, if I remember, 2019, and within the space of 2 or 3 months it had gone up 300%, really fast. That's just Bitcoin. All the other altcoins doing all kinds of stuff. Bull markets come pretty fast. With crypto, really fast. You see some really big fast gains. But let's just step back and recognize that the old techniques still apply. They applied throughout the bull market, they applied in this bear market, and they'll apply right now and leading forward. It's exactly the same deal. So hold tight, allow for Bitcoin season to play. Whether we're going up or down on Bitcoin's price action doesn't really matter. There's always a time to rotate into altcoins, and the Bitcoin dominance chart will help you make the decision whether or not you're overexposed to altcoins or even underexposed, like it was over here. Everybody was saying, get into Bitcoin. Can you not see? Bitcoin is the future and altcoins are finished. What's happening? Why am I not making all the millions that everybody... I'll get into altcoins. No, why am I so wrecked? Okay, don't let the charts confuse you. They are very... I won't say simple, but there's rhythm to all of this. Very, very obvious rhythm. And let's just play that rhythm for what it is. Anyway, I'll leave it with you there. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.